Hello, welcome. Today's councilman is Tim McCall. Tim, how are you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Good to hear. Let's start. What ward do you represent?
I represent Ward 6, which is the eastern side of Jonesboro, northeastern as well. It also includes Industrial Park. So
Okay. And how long have you been on the council?
I have had the opportunity to serve since 1999. So
Okay, let me do the math here. That's quite a while. Let's go all the way back to 1999. When that time came, what was it that motivated you to run for council?
Well, I mean, there wasn't an agenda necessarily at all, but other than I've always enjoyed local politics, and specifically my family. I'm 43. I've lived in Jonesboro pretty much all my life. Born and raised here. Went to Jonesboro High. Graduated from ASU. My wife is from here. I mean, I've got a lot of personal connections to this community, and Jonesboro's been great to me and my family as well. But I wanted to serve in some capacity, and just thought this was a perfect opportunity. And you've got opportunities to try to make your community better. And at the time, I was having children, and a way to make their lives a little bit better down the road as well. I read a book. It was a little bit before I decided to run, by Tip O'Neill, and it was called All Politics is Local. And boy, he hit the nail on the head, because whether you're on the school board or the city council or quorum court or even the Chamber of Commerce board or something for that matter, everything is local. I mean, because we do make decisions that impact in large and small ways everybody's lives and livelihood.
Sure, and you mentioned making decisions. Is there anything that maybe that's of importance to you that you've dealt with or been a part of for your ward in specific?
Yeah, I mean, I've in regard to committees, I've had the opportunity to serve on just about every committee that the city has. I currently serve on Parks and Recreation and Nominating and Rules, but when I was chair of the fire department, that was when we were going through our ISO ratings and just beginning the process of building additional stations. That was a interesting time and a positive time for Jonesboro.
Right. Now, for the running years that you've been on the council, what is your day-to-day motivation to keep serving the public?
Well, I think as much as anything, I enjoy helping people. I get to do that in my real job as well. But you get calls from people morning, evening, afternoon, nighttime a lot of times, and those people are calling you because they have a problem or they have a concern, and at that time, that call, that's the most important thing going on with them, or they wouldn't have called you.
Right.
And so I try to make, I guess my philosophy is their problem is my problem, and it's just as important to me at the time as it is to them. So I like helping people get through the maze of the government, and sometimes it's not always easy.
Right, absolutely. Well, with you being on the council since 1999, you've obviously seen Jonesboro in this amazing growth that we've experienced over the past 10, 11 years. What in your perspective, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Have we seen some challenges? What's your take on that?
I think it's a great thing. Jonesboro, as you just mentioned, we have had a huge growth, and just in the last 5 years, even for that matter. So we're constantly facing challenges because of that. Infrastructure, drainage. I mean, you just name it. Public safety, for that matter.
Sure.
But you face adversity by doubling your determination, and I think the mayor and the city employees and the city council has been working really hard to try to make things better for our community.
Absolutely, and this goes across a couple of the interviews that we've done. These problems that you mentioned, or the challenges that the city are facing, always good. They're good problems to have.
Yeah.
Traffic means that there's people in Jonesboro.
Spending money. So.
Yeah, the growth and infrastructure, we've outgrown our infrastructure, which says a lot, because I know that you guys have put a lot of effort, along with the mayor and the previous mayors, and to try to keep up with this growth with our infrastructure. So talking about this growth that we've seen over the past decade, what do you expect to see for the future of Jonesboro?
I mean, I don't see anything changing. I mean, I think the city, and I know for a fact, is in a situation right now where we're not even to the hump yet. I think we're going to be growing with leaps and bounds. I mean, in Ward 6, for example, which is the eastern side of town, if you just drive out Highway 49 and look at the new medical facilities and businesses and the dirt work that's being done, and it's the same thing with the south side of town as well. There's a lot of businesses coming to Jonesboro that we don't even know about at this point, and I think it's going to be good. I think it's positive. I feel really confident in what our administration and what our city staff are doing to looking ahead towards the future.
Okay, well, great. Well, a lot of you may or may not know, but Tim is involved on some other activities, one of which he is the chair of the Downtown Jonesboro BBQ Festival, which over the past 3-4 years, I've had the privilege to work for and with Tim on these projects. But these things it's obviously they're a big deal in Jonesboro.
Oh, absolutely. In 2009, Mayor Perrin asked me to chair the sesquicentennial celebration for the city and the county, and that was a great experience, especially somebody that's from Jonesboro and has history here and enjoys that sort of thing. But we ended and of course Jack was a huge part of making it work. But we ended our sesquicentennial celebration with a festival, festival and BBQ Fest and Music Fest downtown. And you and I had, of course, in our mind planned on wanting to do something and continuing that moving forward, but the mayor also wanted to make sure we at least had a barbecue contest. So the next year we did that, and it was a success. And this past year was just a huge, as you know, it was just wonderful. And I look at this, and we've had these discussions before, but you look at economic development for the city of Jonesboro. I mean, it's not always bringing industry to town. I mean, that's a huge part of it, and certainly very, very important. But things such as this, as the Downtown BBQ Fest and Music Festival, I mean, if you look back at our October 2011 A&P motel hotel tax revenues, we saw an 89% increase of revenue. I mean, almost double what we did the previous year. And that equates to a lot of people coming to town for, probably not everything for the BBQ Fest, but it equates to people coming to town, staying in a hotel, spending money in the gas stations, at the mall, at quick shops, at restaurants, and I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. We had several, I'd hate to even put a number on it, but a lot of 1,000 people in downtown Jonesboro. And as you mentioned, the economic impact that brings by them buying gas, buying the Boston butts and the ribs from the local markets that they cooked at the BBQ Fest, staying in the hotels, which was a big, that was our way of actually measuring it, because we knew what that money was coming from. But absolutely, it's a huge economic.
You can measure it by the trash we picked up the next morning.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I think it's a good thing for Jonesboro. We now have a signature event for Jonesboro, which has long been attempted and been needed in this area. You look at the other surrounding communities; they all have their festival.
North Little Rock, Conway, Fayetteville. I mean, And we are sanctioned now by the Kansas City Barbecue Contest, and in fact, the gentleman who heads that up made a point to tell us that, I mean, this is one of the best events he's seen in the first year that they've ever seen. So it's going to be bigger and better, and we're already starting to work on it. So for this year's event.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned being very personal with the people that you represent in your ward. If anybody has anything that they'd like to share with you, what would be your preferred method of them contacting you?
You can call me at home. That's perfectly fine.
And you can get that phone number from the phone book. We also provide his email and a contact number on our website, which is www.jonesboro.org. Tim, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
Pleasure with you. Thank you.
And thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching Channel 24.